Okay, everybody. Today's video is going to be about the newest and most controversial, possibly true, possibly not, UFO and alien videos. So, we're going to get started. We're going to dive right in today. I'm going to put my face down and get right to it. Okay, so let's begin. Video number 1. This one right here has to do with a solar flare. And if you look careful enough, right below it, there's a dark ball that finger coming out of the sun leads to. All of a sudden, it just darts off like it was either an explosion or just something intelligent. So right here we have an orb floating out in the Nevada desert. You can see that there. Let's see. Some creepy stuff. I'll put some pictures and some different stills of these things in the video. I'll try to bring them up as promptly as I can. I'm still kind of new to this video thing, so y'all have to bear with me. These videos are going to suck for a little while, but hopefully I get better each one I do. I'm starting to learn my software a little better. This one right here. Hopefully I get better each one I do. I'm starting to learn my software a little better. This one right here is just a glowing orb captured at nighttime. Let's see. Some crazy stuff we got going on here. I would be freaked if I saw this stuff. And right here, this is 3 little objects seen floating past the moon. Now, I know that we ain't up there going around the moon. And I'd really like to know where this footage came from, what kind of device captured it. I know if I saw this, I'd be unsettled. But it goes along with everything that I've heard recently about UFOs being on the moon. If you notice right down at the bottom right-hand corner of the moon, right beside my picture, there are these little objects that are floating across. The still images there shows the shadows. So you have the objects floating. Then you have them casting a shadow. I see 1, 2, should be 3 video captures here of these little things. That's creepy. And this is obviously a cigar shape. You see the shadow cast as a cigar on the moon right above that crater there. This is some wild stuff, y'all. I mean, I've had people tell me my whole life that I was crazy for believing in UFOs, but now the rest of the world is seeming to catch on. I mean, I'm not looking so crazy anymore as this old dumb country boy with a thick accent that most of you probably can't understand, but I haven't been taught the proper way to speak so the whole world can understand me. Here's one. We have a little object that is almost translucent. You can see the dogs going after it, but they're not getting close enough to it. They're terrified of it as well. Here in a minute, we're going to see a night vision image too that shows a little bit more detail after this thing takes off. It's floating off to the right there, right out of sight. The dogs are watching it the whole way. I bet these dogs are going crazy. I wonder what they're thinking. Probably the same thing we all are. What in the hell is that? You can see it come right up out of here as they zoom up and pan to the north there. Comes in floating. It's obviously not on the ground because it's going over all these things, not following the contours of the ground. It's hovering at one distance. The dogs come to it, see it. This is insane. Wow, this is beyond me. This was caught on somebody's home surveillance footage. Here's the night vision. It's the reason, my theory about why everything involving UFOs or Bigfoots or aliens, you always get a blurry photo. And if you go watch a video by a man named Charles James Hall, he talks about these aliens have suits. He talks about the tall white aliens having these skin-tight, almost latex, tight-fitting looking suits that have a transparency option. They can decide or not decide to go invisible right in front of you. And I think that this is the cause of a lot of recent speculation. Oh, well, there's never any solid footage of these creatures or these UFOs. Then it's like something happens that turns the cameras off or blurs the photos on these people's devices. I think that's got a lot to do with it. They don't want to be seen. And the reason is I don't think they're alien. Now, granted, some of them may be. I mean, but I think that the technology that they have has allowed them to live right here on Earth this whole time, throughout the whole history of human, and even before. I believe they created us, along with some other life forms they found on this planet. They're involved in mixing DNA, splicing genes, and creating hybrids. And I believe that we are a hybrid offspring from these creatures. And they've been hiding right under our noses, right under the surface of the land since the beginning of time, out in the ocean. I mean, the more and more details that come to light lead me further down that path of believing that they are not as extraterrestrial as we think, meaning that I don't think they live out in space. I believe they have the ability to go to space and the ability to explore these other universes and planets and regions of the universe, but I think they live right here. That's a reason that, I don't know if any of you ever heard of it, whenever a country is beginning or considering launching nuclear weapons to attack somebody, you always hear of a mysterious source turning them off or shutting them down. Well, why is that, you think? Well, my theory is that they don't want the resources and the natural elements of this world to be destroyed. They don't care about us. I don't honestly think they don't give a crap about us. But the Earth is what they're protecting. They won't let us blow the Earth up, but we can kill ourselves all we want. They don't care if, like right now, Russia's invading the Ukraine, you got Iran, Syria, all of them getting into a war. Nothing's happening to intervene or to change or stop this war from happening. But have you noticed, Putin, as lunatic and as bonkers as he may be, they won't fire off a nuclear warhead. I don't think it's because they're scared of what the United States or NATO or what any other neighboring countries will do. I think it's because they're scared of the aliens or the extraterrestrial life forms shutting them down. If it would blow the lid off this whole conspiracy if somebody would try to launch a nuke and the aliens would show up and shut it down. I believe they would make themselves known to us. Wow, look at this guy. I slowed it down here and zoomed in a little bit. This is a clear white alien. In the second part of my Charles Hall video, he explains the look of them. He says they're tall, anywhere from 5'11" to 6'11" during their majority of their adult lives. And then they stop growing for a period, but the older they get another growth spurt. And they grow, 7, 8, 9, 10 foot tall. The older they get, and their eyes turn from a white and a bright baby blue color. The older ones start turning pink as they get older. He said that's the only way that you can identify an older one is by their height, their more advanced height, and the color of their eyes starting to turn pink. Okay, he says they have these little weapons that's, about the size of a pencil. And he describes the way they use it. It has several settings. It can put you into a state of trance. It can blow your blood vessels up in your veins, in your body, inside. It can freeze you. It can make you bark like a dog. It can make you do whatever they want. It'll electrocute you. It'll boil the plasma inside your blood. It's just a super high-tech weapon that they use. Hopefully, none of us never get the opportunity to see or witness one of these things. But, and here is the picture, the closest thing I could find, video formation to one of those. You see the big hollow eyes, the dark eyes that are twice the size of a human eyes. The smaller, less protruding nose and the smaller mouth, and their ears lay back closer to their head more than humans do. All this can be found in the Charles Hall video, Walking with the Tall Whites, where he was on the Air Force Base in Indian Springs, Nevada, And he describes Area 52, 53, 54. It surprisingly doesn't say anything about Area 51, which I think that place may be being used to mislead us into looking there and not everywhere else. I think it's kind of a smoke and mirrors situation. So, having that said, they could be anywhere. I live here in the mountains of West Virginia, and there's acres upon acres, thousands of millions of acres here that are just uninhabited. Who's to say that they don't have a base, everywhere, under the ground? Who's to say that each of these bases across the continents under the oceans are not interconnected with tunnels and causeways underneath the ocean floors to where they don't even have to go topside if they don't want to. They can live their life under the earth. We've drilled pretty deep into our earth, but not even minuscule distance as when it comes to the whole totality of the size of the earth. I mean, we've only nicked the surface, and something with technology and abilities that these aliens and UFOs seem to possess, that would be nothing for them. I mean, it would be just simple. Just taking candy from a baby at that point for them. So the only hopes that we have of catching glimpses whenever they come topside, which they use this cloaking ability to disguise themselves. And the only time that we catch a sight of them is when it shorts out, or when a pilot isn't paying attention and forgets. I mean, I believe they are a flesh and blood life form like us. I don't believe their bodies are tougher, stronger, or capable of harming us without their technology. But wherever you find something of that kind of form of life, they're going to have their technology with them. I wouldn't. If I had the ability to protect myself everywhere I go, and most of the time I do, I'm always carrying it with me. So why wouldn't they? Especially, something that would strike awe and fear into a human being the way they would upon just the sight. I know, because if I saw one, I would just be froze. I would try to compose myself and to get a camera, but I don't believe that is something that we are capable of doing, and catching them because of their cloaking abilities. I think they have like EMPs, which, electronic magnetic pulse, that shuts down all electronics. I believe that whenever they do go topside, they create some kind of barrier that blocks our electronics, maybe shuts it off, maybe just cause it to, just malfunction. It's highly possible. You can watch tons and tons of videos doing that. So, that being said, I'll get back to my investigations, and we're going to post a video every other day if I can. Please like and subscribe. I need all the help and support I can. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It helps me, gain notoriety, get these videos viewed. Please like, share if you can, and I will greatly appreciate it, and you'll be doing me a great service. Thank you for watching my video. Please stay tuned for the next one, and y'all have a wonderful day.